Star Wars. Star Wars is a franchise that is very important to a huge number of people. It's been going on for about 40 years and has gone through 11 different live action movies. And a lot of different people love them so much with a passion. There are fans that are ravenous at you if you would even speak little of some slight part of Star Wars because they love it so much and it envelops them. And there's other people that they just won't watch it out of spite, or they hate it for no reason. But it is very important to a lot of people. And especially me, I know myself, I love Star Wars. It is one of the things that I grew up with. It was Star Wars and superheroes were like the two main things that you would do. I had cousins that we would all go outside and play Star Wars or play superheroes. But Star Wars was always fun. We had our plastic lightsabers and we would go outside and just fight each other all the time. I have a picture from many, many years ago of us all playing together with our lightsabers. And so, for some context of my journey with Star Wars, is I was born in 2001, which is the year that Attack of the Clones came out. And so, I was born and around before the prequel trilogy wrapped up, but I wasn't really aware of things and like of Star Wars as like a full thing until after Revenge of the Sith had already released. So when I was first getting into Star Wars, it was a big deal because the prequels were wrapping up, but I wasn't there enough to know. So for me, it has always been the 6 movies, and that is what Star Wars is. 1 through 6 have just always existed for me. I don't remember a time without those movies. And so, growing up, we were really into the prequels because that one was easy to play and do outside because stormtroopers are a little boring to picture in your head to fight against, but having a giant robot army to fight against in your head, that's just so much more fun and exciting, I felt like. And so we really loved all the movies. I would go over to my cousin's house and we would act out the Star Wars movies while watching them. So they'd be on the TV and we'd be just in front of the TV acting out as the different characters and stuff. And we would mostly do that with the prequels. So a heavy side of my Star Wars journey is the prequels, but I do have a huge respect for the original trilogy too. And so what I'm going to be trying to do is I'm actually going through, and I was going to try and do it all in one video, and then the more I thought about it, I was like, this is going to take a lot more videos to get all of my thoughts out about Star Wars. So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to start a series where there are 11 live action movies. And so I'm going to try and make a video on each one of those movies, talking about it, discussing it more, the things I like about it, the things I don't like. Because, at least from my perspective, I'm an interesting Star Wars fan. I mean, a pretty, normal one is what I'm trying to say. Because, again, from my perspective, I have a good, I love them. I am a huge Star Wars fan. But I'm also not the kind of person that is just holding on to those things that they love so much that they wouldn't dare criticize them. I'm willing to look at the things that I love most and find the flaws in them. Because everything has flaws in it, and I like to look at that, critique it, and do that. So what I'm going to be doing, I will be eventually ranking all 11 of these movies. And the way I'm going to do it, I'm going to go through the movies in numerical order, or chronological order, because Rogue One and Solo I'll do right after episode 3. But then what I'll be doing is, as I go, I will put them ranked in the number system. So there will be 1 to 11, and then what I'm going to do is, instead of going my 11th place first and then my favorite movie last, I'm just going to be going through, and then at the end of the video I will place it. So I might do the first video I do of a movie, which would be episode 1, it might end up in 6, and it would be right in the middle of the ranking. So it's going to be you're watching it and you don't know where it's going to be on the ranking until the end of the video. And the thing that I'm going to be trying to do as much as I can is, in my ranking, I am not focusing in on what is the ranking of the better movies, okay? Because if you wanted a ranking of best Star Wars movie to worst Star Wars movie, then I could just give you a Metacritic listing of what people say they are. So I'm not doing a look at how good the movie is. I am looking at my enjoyment out of the movie. Because those are two separate things. There can be really bad movies that you know are bad, but you still love them, you still enjoy watching them so much. And so that's what I'm going to be trying to focus on, because that's what matters more to me. So really, this ranking will be the number one movie will be the movie that I most like to watch, and the one that I am most likely to watch again. And then the bottom one will probably be one that I won't watch as much. I just will choose not to watch that one. And it might not be because it's the worst one, it's just the one that I like the least. This series will kind of be for people that know Star Wars a bit more. So if you don't know Star Wars that well, or maybe you haven't watched any and you're kind of looking for a way to get into Star Wars, if you're asking what my recommendations are for jumping into Star Wars, I recommend just watch Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. That is the original. If you watch that one, you'll have a pretty good idea on whether you will like the rest of them or not. That's the only one I suggest that you watch, and then if you enjoy it, then continue from there and watch the rest of that trilogy with Episode 5 and Episode 6, and then if you enjoy those so much, then just go watch the rest of them, I would say. Watching all the movies in release order, if you intend to watch them all, is what I personally recommend as the best option for any movie franchise, honestly. So be on the lookout for those videos as they're coming out. I'll try and keep them relatively close together, but I'll just be going through each movie. Some videos will be longer, some will be shorter, depending on how much I have to say about them. But yeah, I'd enjoy if you guys would watch them and listen to me talk about Star Wars, because I have quite a few things to say about a lot of the movies. So yeah, be on the lookout for those videos as they come out, and be especially on the lookout for the next one, which will be just starting off this whole thing with Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. See you guys next time. Bye.